What if you could see a company's future, not through its stock price, but by understanding its soul? The real blueprint for long-term success isn't in financial models, but in a company's values, and the gap between what it says and what it does. This gap reveals whether a company is built to last or destined to crumble. We're drawn to organizations that stand for something real, where actions match beliefs. Patagonia, for example, lives its value of environmental stewardship by repairing old jackets instead of pushing new sales. Their values guide decisions, even at the expense of short-term profit. In contrast, companies like Enron and FTX had value statements, but their actions told a different story, leading to collapse. When actions betray stated values, trust erodes and cynicism grows. For investors, employees, and leaders, seeing this gap is a superpower. A company with lived values is more resilient and adaptable. For employees, it means a place where you can do your best work. For leaders, it's about leading with consistency and care. Leadership isn't about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in your charge, through actions, not just words. Your people know what you stand for when they see it in every decision you make. Why do companies write down their values? To create shared purpose and guide behavior. But when values become empty slogans, a dangerous gap forms. Sometimes values are crafted by marketing, disconnected from reality. Other times leaders lack the courage to uphold them when it's hard. It's easy to value integrity when things go well, much harder when it means admitting costly mistakes. This gap breeds cynicism and teaches employees that real values are unwritten. Hit your numbers. Don't challenge the boss. Fear replaces innovation, and trust evaporates. The value statement becomes a daily reminder of hypocrisy. For outsiders, investors, partners, future employees, this gap is the most important thing to investigate. A company's stated values show what it wants to be, its actions show what it is. The distance between the two reveals the character of its leadership. Are leaders courageous enough to stick to their beliefs, even when it's hard? That answer predicts the company's future. Always look for alignment between words and actions. Values are the operating system of a company, shaping every decision and interaction. When values are clear and lived, they create a coherent, empowered environment. People don't need a rule book, they ask, what's right according to our values? Values drive strategy. A company valuing innovation invests in R&D and tolerates failure. One valuing efficiency optimizes processes. If actions fight stated values, strategy fails. Culture is the sum of shared values and behaviors. A culture of transparency manages risk openly. A culture of secrecy buries problems until crisis hits. Lived values act as an immune system, protecting against ethical lapses. True innovation requires psychological safety, which comes from trust and respect. Leaders who model vulnerability create space for breakthroughs. People innovate when they feel safe and believe in the mission. Values aren't soft, they're the foundation for resilience and growth. When values are real, they drive everything. Not all value statements are created equal. Some are powerful, others are empty jargon. Red flag 1, generic buzzword-heavy values like integrity or excellence. These are table stakes, not differentiators. If a company must state integrity, it raises questions. Red flag 2, values as nouns, not verbs. Innovation sits still. Question everything, drives action. Values should be actionable, guiding real decisions. Southwest's Servant's Heart and Netflix's Freedom and Responsibility are clear actionable values. Beware values that are aspirational but disconnected from the business, like a payday lender touting community empowerment. Values must link credibly to how the company operates. Watch for long lists of values. No one can remember 12. 3 to 5 core values is ideal. Too many values signal a lack of focus. The goal isn't to cover every positive trait, but to define what makes the organization unique. Short, powerful, actionable values matter most. If values distract from the real business, authenticity is lacking. Learn to spot these red flags. They reveal what's real and what's just wallpaper. Authentic values are few, clear, and lived. Patagonia is the gold standard for living its values. Their mission, we're in business to save our home planet, guides every decision. This isn't marketing, it's their organizing principle. Their Don't Buy This Jacket campaign urged customers to consider the environment over consumption. From a business perspective, it's risky. From a values perspective, it's authentic. Patagonia donates 1% of sales to environmental causes, sues to protect public lands, and invests in sustainable materials. They offer lifetime warranties and repairs, prioritizing sustainability over sales. These aren't isolated acts. They're a consistent pattern. Actions and words align, building trust and loyalty. Passing the Patagonia test isn't about perfection, but consistency and courage. Employees and customers are drawn to this authenticity. Patagonia doesn't just sell gear, they sell a belief. People pay a premium for values they trust. That's the power of values in action. Enron is the ultimate cautionary tale of empty values. Their lobby boasted respect, integrity, communication, excellence, but the real values were greed and winning at any cost. A cutthroat culture pitted employees against each other, rewarding deception and hiding problems. Integrity was a cynical lie. Leaders orchestrated massive fraud while preaching honesty. Questioning the numbers was punished, not encouraged. The focus was on short-term stock price, not long-term value. The collapse was predictable. The gap between words and actions was a gaping chasm. Employees and investors paid the price. Enron proves, values mean nothing if leaders don't live them. Integrity is what you do when no one is watching. A company not true to itself cannot survive. How do you spot a Patagonia versus an Enron? Conduct an authenticity audit. 4 pillars reveal true values: leader behavior, company decisions, employee experience, and crisis response. First, watch leaders. Do they embody the values, or just talk about them? Small unscripted moments reveal real culture. Second, analyze tough decisions. Who gets promoted, who gets let go, and how the company balances profit with principle. Third, listen to employees. Can they name the values, and do they have real stories of values in action? If employees roll their eyes at the values, that's a red flag. Fourth, observe how the company responds to crisis. Do they stick to their principles, or abandon them for convenience? These 4 areas expose the truth behind the words. Don't just read the value statement. Look for evidence. The real culture is always visible if you know where to look. Authenticity is in the details. Research confirms what great leaders know. Strong lived values drive business success. Companies with real value alignment outperform peers in profitability, productivity, and customer satisfaction. Integrity has a measurable ROI. Trust is the currency of business. When employees and customers trust, engagement and loyalty soar. Value-driven companies are more resilient in crisis, drawing on goodwill and stakeholder belief. High ESG scores, often a proxy for strong values, correlate with better financial performance and lower risk. Values help manage risk, reduce lawsuits, and attract top talent. The best people want to work for the best companies, and best now means more than salary. Misalignment between values and actions is a hidden risk, leading to disengagement, turnover, and ethical blind spots. Catastrophic failures like Enron and Wells Fargo start with cultural rot. Financials show where a company's been. Values show where it's going. The cultural health of a company is a leading indicator of its future. Values are the foundation of resilience and long-term success. Analyzing company values is powerful, but the real impact comes from turning that lens on yourself. For leaders, the key question is, what are my values, and do I live them? Leadership is a choice, not a title. Audit your own life. What do you believe? What guides you when things get tough? Write your values down, but make sure your actions match. Ask yourself, and others, how your values show up in your daily decisions. The gap between words and actions is where true leadership is forged. Consistency builds trust and loyalty. Hire for values, not just skills. Make decisions that align with your principles. Your team is always watching. Lead by example. Before you can lead others, you must lead yourself. The world needs leaders who build trust, not just hit targets. Live your values, inspire others, and build organizations you're proud of.